Internet! Hello and welcome to Coy Cubed. It is somehow already Tuesday again. I feel like last week's mega pause has now turned around and time is flying. It is approaching the middle of November. How? I don't know. How do I mute? I also don't know. I hope you're doing well. The world's a bit of chaos. We're going to leave that all aside because everything seems like it's in flux in this country, and we're not going to touch on that because, frankly, me and Spidey are hanging out. I got a cat in my lap, and I got sweatpants on. This is the day. We're rocking out. I hope you're doing well. I almost didn't do the show today because of chaos of scheduling things. Tomorrow, a brand new show drops over on Collider called Collider Movie Club. We were working on some of that stuff today, so I almost couldn't make it. But Collider Movie Club starts tomorrow officially with Mad Max Fury Road 11/11, and we air it at 11. That's right. So 11/11/11/11/11 tomorrow. I'm very excited. Spidey says hi. We've got a good amount of news today. We've got some Sorry, I got a phone call while I was talking. We got some Fantastic Beasts updates. We got some Scorpion King changes, which is pretty crazy. We've got some Paper Girls casting. Things are moving and grooving. So let's dive right in. First up, WandaVision. I got to kick off with WandaVision. There is a huge article over at Entertainment Weekly about WandaVision that I'm thrilled to dive into. It is basically saying it's a lot of the things we knew but now confirmed. Basically, they're locking in the sitcom trope like we thought they would, but it's also a matter of they had a live studio audience. They're leaning all the way into sitcom, and I think that's fascinating. The article spells out how their director was actually in a spin-off of Growing Pains, which is one of the tones they're drawing from. They filmed at the Warner Ranch, where lots of sitcoms have been filmed, so the ghost of sitcom past is a big part of the legacy of WandaVision. We've been talking on this show and Collider Heroes and lots of other places. Basically, it looks like they're going to be acclimating to the fact that comic books are monthly and serialized, and they're going to be doing shows much the same. So we're finally getting that flavor in the world of comic books, which is very, very exciting. So originally it was supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier kicking off the TV universe, but I think it's actually a really cool thing to have WandaVision do it, because WandaVision looks to be a love letter to TV, and what better way to start your TV empire that I'm sure the Disney Marvel saga is going to be. Marvel has done incredibly at adapting their comic books to film. I think they're going to do the same with television. Check out the article. I'm not just going to read all the facts to you. Check out the Entertainment Weekly article. It's online. It's really cool. It's great hearing from both Vision and Wanda. It's great seeing my name in soap. You'll see. Check my Twitter. Check my Instagram. It's pretty crazy. Koi Soap. I'm canon. Marvel Universe. Spidey Cat gets a video game. I get to be part of WandaVision. We're making moves. It is really, really exciting to be part of this universe, and I know it's been a long time since we've had a Marvel movie. This is the first year since 2009 we haven't had a Marvel film, but it seems like 2021 is going to be full insanity. I think we're going to get 2 shows, maybe 3. I know we're going to get at least 2 movies, maybe 3. If we have 6 Marvel properties next year because of the way it stacks, we're definitely getting Black Widow and the Eternals. We're definitely getting Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. Will they move the 2021 shows to 2022? I don't know. Will we get a stack of 9 properties? I don't know. Any of that's possible. It's all crazy. It's all exciting. Check out the article. WandaVision is coming this winter. I think that means January, February. I don't think we're getting it as soon as December, but how great of a surprise would it be if for Christmas we got WandaVision? I would love that so very much. Time will tell. It's exciting. All right, over from WandaVision to the world of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Well, they don't need to find a replacement for Johnny Depp because they found that very quickly. This situation's tricky because I know it's in the middle of a legal matter, and frankly, I thought that they had found both parties in similar disadvantage of legal. I thought both of them had wronged, last I heard. So having Amber Heard in the Snyder Cut and having Johnny Depp be fired, and they're both Warner Brothers films, I don't know what the deal with any of that is. There must be new information that I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not very familiar with the case. I don't want to speak to any of that because I don't know enough, and I think speaking out of turn with that shit isn't healthy or safe or fair to any of the people involved. Either way, it sucks because I do like Johnny Depp's work, and it is a shitty situation no matter how it shakes out. That said, if you're going to not have Johnny Depp in the movie, again, not touching any of that stuff further, I think Mads Mikkelsen is an incredible actor, and he is very much that type. If you're going to have a warlock, witch, wizard of that malice, I think it's going to be really cool to have it be Mads Mikkelsen. If you're going to replace someone with the charm and charisma, and in this case, like intense debonair evil of Johnny Depp, go Mads Mikkelsen. That man with a glance is so intense and exciting. That man with a passing frame in a movie can tell so much more story than most actors can, and I think he's, like the male Tilda Swinton, there's that great meme on the internet, like, well, maybe. I think Mads Mikkelsen is going to be a great addition to the world of the Fantastic Beasts. I'm not really that invested in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. I think Harry Potter is excellent, but the Fantastic Beasts films have not caught me. I think they're fun, but I watch them very passively. I didn't watch the second one until this year on TV. I didn't rush to the theater for it. That's not a great sign. I thought Colin Farrell did an incredible job in the first one. I thought Johnny Depp did a great job in the third act of the second one when they let him. I don't know how invested I am, but Mads Mikkelsen being in it is exciting enough that I will at least be more intrigued by the trailer. I'm now trailer excited. I don't know if that counts for anything, but this sure is news. I never thought there'd be a day where Johnny Depp got fired and they replaced him the next day. It's a very different age for movie stars. It's a very different age for what the climate is in film, and I don't know what this is going to mean going forward. So Mads Mikkelsen potentially taking over the role that Johnny Depp had in the last part of the first and the second film, and Fantastic Beasts is continuing on with its giant franchise ness. I don't know that I can get excited, but at least I'm intrigued. All right, in the world of tangible things, in the world of real things, we are getting Miles Morales Addidas. I am a huge fan of the Miles Morales Air Forces. I'm a huge fan of the Nikes that came out that rep Miles with the End of the Spider-Verse shoe. I think they're gorgeous. Whenever I see a pair in the wild, I'm jealous. I don't own a pair. I think they're rad shoes. They are doing an Adidas pair of Miles Morales shoes in honor of the game. I want them. They're dope. They're bright red with the classic Adidas stripes. I mean, obviously red and black are my jam. I think it's really cool. I don't know how they're going to look in person, though. I know the Nikes look great in person. I don't know how these are going to look in person, but anytime there is a dope crossover between something tangible and comic books, I get excited because in my mind it's still 1995 and we have to hide the fact that we love comic books. So Adidas teaming up with Spider-Man, we live in the future, and the future is nerdy, so I'm very excited. Check them out, Adidas Miles Morales shoes, very freaking cool. All right, in the world of not practical, not tangible, we are getting a Paper Girls show. We've been developing this for quite some time. We, not me, they are developing a Paper Girls show. Brian K. Vaughan is getting all sorts of his properties picked up and adapted and all sorts of stuff, and I think it's really exciting. I'm very in for more Brian K. Vaughan awareness. I think most of his work is perfect. I'm a huge fan of his, and I think Paper Girls is going to make for a fantastic TV show. I think the show is going to be so good, a lot of people are going to think it's more of a sequel to Stranger Things, the incredible Netflix show, than based on a comic book, because the tone of Paper Girls is so that 80s nostalgia but neo-futuristic vein, and then it goes crazy from there. I can see the tone of Stranger Things translating really well to parts of Paper Girls, but a female-led group of badass girls, Paper Girls, that travel through time and handle their business is going to be an excellent translation to TV, as long as the budget's not bad. Either way, they're casting it right now. Amazon, who has lots of money, is doing a Paper Girl show, adapting the book. It ended its comic book run last year. It is a great time to adapt it into a TV show. They're casting right now. So, in addition to Why the Last Man actually happening, we're also getting a Paper Girl show that is actively in development, even in these Rona times. So, comic book fans, especially indie fans, you got a lot to celebrate. Good stuff is moving and grooving. Over in the world of the UK is going back into lockdown. It is, obviously, there's still a pandemic out there, regardless of what your crazy uncle says that doesn't wear a mask. There is still chaos in the streets, and Europe, unlike our country, listens to science. And in listening to science, they are locking down the UK again, but to entertain the masses, they are going to have a virtual movie hunt on the equivalent of Google Maps in the UK. It might just be called Google Maps, I don't know. But the Google Maps team in the UK has hidden 40 iconic British films on the map, and when you discover them, you can virtually watch these movies. So you can watch Skyfall, you can watch Shaun of the Dead, all sorts of classic British cinema is available on Google Maps, and I think that is a very, very clever way to keep people happy while they're stuck at home. They're going to be grooving around on maps, driving perhaps in their imagination, and now, without clicking on it for navigation, what's Google Maps going to do? Well, it's going to play some cool movies, and I think it's a really exciting and a really novel way to reinvent boredom and an app. I think it's very clever of both parties. The films they're licensing them, and also the app itself, because they need them clicks. So, very clever. Very lovely that they're investing in something to keep people from being bored while they're locked down. Go Google Maps UK. I think that's really rad. All right, now we're going to talk about something I never talk about on this channel. We're going to talk about something that rhymes with car mores. We're going to talk about Star Wars. Now, I usually avoid Star Wars in this channel because it is one of the most aggressive fandoms, period, and I don't know it well. I enjoy Star Wars casually. I appreciate Star Wars. The Mandalorian is just so great. I'm a fan, but the fandom, very intense. That said, I'm going to talk about Star Wars right now, and I'm going to give my opinion, and I hope that any zealot Star Wars fan doesn't attack me, and I'm sorry if I offend you. The prequel trilogy came out in a lot of people's formative years, and it made them giant Star Wars fans of the Anakin, not Darth Vader Anakin, but Anakin trilogy. I'm not as big on that trilogy. I'm a fan of the OG trilogy, and I'm personally a fan of one of the 3 of the new Star Wars films. That said, there is a new set of, not new, it's not happening, there is a new revelation about the original idea for the sequel trilogy in a new book. George Lucas actually talked a little bit about his original planned trilogy, and I thought this was so cool, it was worth mentioning, even though I'm afraid of talking about Star Wars. They were going to bring Darth Maul back. He was going to have robot legs like he's done with the animated series, and he was going to be the Emperor Palpatine type character, which is really, really cool. I'm going to read you some stuff. This is from Slash Film, and it's worth checking out the article. In the Star Wars sequel trilogy that never got made, Darth Maul would have been the primary antagonist, and much like his animated revival, he would have come back with mechanical legs, but Maul wouldn't have been alone. Lucas planned to pull in the character of Darth Talon, a Sith Lord from the Dark Horse comics, called Star Wars Legacy. As Lucas explains it, Maul would eventually become the godfather of crime in the universe because as the Empire falls, he takes over. So a lot like some of the stuff they did with Solo, there was going to be a crime element, there was going to be an underbelly, there was going to be stuff just, a little off-center from just the big Empire stuff. There was a lot of potential to really make some moves with the franchise in other little corners, and I think that's really cool. But it still was going to have some Skywalker elements, like Princess Leia, who was going to become the Chosen One. Lucas's angle found the Rebel Alliance trying to rebuild after the fall of the Empire, which he described as harder than starting a rebellion or fighting a war. The Star Wars creators saw the situation as being akin to the Iraq War, where the United States failed to help the country recover from the tyrannical leader Saddam Hussein and allowed for the creation of ISIS. In the Star Wars universe, the Stormtroopers would have formed their own militant organization after being left behind by the Republic, and Princess Leia would have become the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. In addition to Leia's role as leader, she eventually would have been revealed as the Chosen One, and though Leia wasn't the Chosen One in the sequel trilogy, her place in the story was what led Rey to be the Chosen One. So we would have had a Leia-led Republic and an entire empire. She would have been a fixture. I imagine she would have had more, Jedi situations to do. We would have had Darth Maul as a villain. It sounds cool. I would love to see this adapted as a comic book, as a video game, as something. I think as another set of movies is a little unrealistic, but it's really cool to hear details about this. It's really cool to hear that Lucas had a full plan for all 3 movies. It's great to hear, Darth Maul was beloved and he was in one movie and had one of the coolest fight scenes in cinema. Very exciting to know a little bit more about it. So this is all in a book that is coming out called Star Wars Legends. It is about all of the things we haven't seen, as well as there's an archive book that predates that about the prequel trilogy. So lots of cool stuff. Check out Slash Film. They've got a whole article about it. And check out the book because it sounds like it's got a bunch of really cool little anecdotes about what almost was. Also, if you guys haven't seen it yet, there is a trailer for a movie called Happiest Season over on Hulu. It's going to be a Hulu original. It's the Christmas movie Hulu's doing. And as you guys know, I'm a big defender of Kristen Stewart. I think Kristen Stewart's an incredible actress that is known for one thing, much like the male counterpart in that film, who has gone on to do a lot of great things. So is Kristen Stewart. She was in Seberg, which was one of my favorite movies of the year. She's an incredible actress that a lot of people just pigeonhole. So anytime she's in a new trailer, I'm going to be real excited about it, and I'm very excited for this movie. It is called Happiest Season. It is a Christmas movie. It is a love story. It has a new trailer out, and the movie drops at the end of November, and I'm excited for it. So check out the trailer for Happiest Season and feel that holly jolly flavor. It's got a great supporting cast, and it's got the girl from Blade Runner as well as Kristen Stewart in it. Looks great. And the guy from Schitt's Creek. I haven't seen Schitt's Creek yet, but I know it got a lot of Emmys, so much love to Eugene Levy's son. I think his name is Dan Levy, maybe? That guy's in it too, and I'm excited for people to discover more than one type of love story for Christmas. I think it's important. Umbrella Academy Season 3 is all systems go. We are officially getting a Season 3. Netflix has greenlit the 3rd season of the Umbrella Academy. I'm excited. We also, in less pleasant news, Death on the Nile and Free Guy were officially removed from the release calendar. Disney hasn't set a new release date for them, but it's officially been moved altogether. That's smart to me because 2021 is already going to be a mess of release dates. I understand carving out release dates in the future is how a schedule exists and how important that is. That said, I don't know that it makes sense without really knowing what movie theaters are going to be when they reopen, time frame wise or capacity. So taking off Death of the Nile and Free Guy, 2 movies I was very much looking forward to. Free Guy is the new Ryan Reynolds film, and Death in the Nile is the sequel to Murder in the Orient Express, which I really, really loved. I love the Agatha Christie translations. So those 2 movies taken completely off the Disney calendar. We don't know when they're going to come out, but I think it's really smart to not set a date until we know what's going on. I think this is the beginning of seeing a lot more of that. I think release dates are just going to be more mercurial. I think we're going to be a lot more ambivalent with our trailers where they're just going to say in theaters. I think that's what's coming. I think we have a lot to figure out before it's safe to make these moves. So this is the beginning of what I think that's going to become. Time will tell. Also in shitty news, Richard Schiff, who is a fantastic actor. He was in Man of Steel. For me, he's the West Wing. He's one of the key parts of what makes the West Wing work because he's this very cantankerous man that really, really is somehow endearing. Big fan. He plays Toby Ziegler on The West Wing. He has come down with coronavirus. He got it on Election Day, and they just put the press release out. So my thoughts go to Mr. Richard Schiff, who is a fantastic actor and seemingly a great guy. I like his presence online. And yeah, he's got the bug. So thoughts and hopes and shit to Mr. Richard Schiff. He's fantastic. Hope he gets better, and I look forward to updating you that he's fine. But for now, that's some shit. Speaking of some shit, Mr. Alex Trebek, we lost this week. Alex Trebek was so much of our childhood and adulthoods. He was 80. He'd been fighting cancer for some time, very publicly, very, very strongly. Still filming on Jeopardy until, there's going to be new Jeopardy through Christmas. He was working until the very end, and he was strong in the face of all this, and I think he's, what's the world without Alex Trebek? So, it sucks. He was 80. He had an incredible life. He impacted the world more than most. I don't think there's a game show host like Alex Trebek. I don't think there's an entertainment personality like Alex Trebek. So all the love to the Trebek family and all the appreciation for everything he gave us, because holy shit. I don't want to end before we get into comics on a shit note, so I saved this cool bit of news. It's comic book based. We are getting a new mini-series called X-Men Legends from Marvel that's going to bring back a lot of iconic 90s X-Men writers. We're getting back Fabian Vicenza. We're getting back Chris Claremont, like the writer of X-Men. Chris Claremont's coming back, and they're finally going to be telling the story of the 3rd X-Men brother. Third Summers brother. I always thought the guy, the volcano guy, the guy with the firepower, felt like a cop-out. Felt like there was too many cooks in the kitchen. I always thought it was, meant to be Gambit, and that was the long tease. There's been a tease about this character for years and years, and then they kind of resolved it, but it felt like, We're getting the 3rd Summers brother in a new run called X-Men Legends. I'm more excited for this than I am for X of Swords. I think this is going to be awesome. The art looks great. I've only seen the couple covers. The writers are obviously geniuses. I'm very, very in for this, and I think going back to the 90s is what we're going to see a lot more of. This nostalgia thing is very popular, and why not let comics go to their crazy heyday of extremes like the 90s? So we are getting ourselves some new X-Men content from the old X-Men guard, and I think that's going to be rad. All right, speaking of comic books, I'm going to dive into what I enjoyed last week, what I recommend this week, some streaming recs. I'm going to wrap this up. First up, last week's favorite comics were Black Widow number 3, Captain Marvel 23, Coffin Bound number 8, Crossover number 1. Crossover, one of my favorite books of the year. What an incredible book. I mean, Donny Cates, powerhouse book. Deceased Dead Planet number 5, Firepower number 5. Again, favorite ongoing series of the year is probably Firepower. If you haven't checked it out, please do. Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney doing the work. We got Guardians of the Galaxy number 8, Hellblazer Rise and Fall number 2, illustrated by Derek Robertson, written by Tom Taylor. What a powerhouse duo. Such a good book. Marauders number 14, Thor number 9, and Wolverine Black and White and Blood number 1. Very similar to the Harley Quinn Black and White and Red book, I know, but both are great, so I'm going to recommend them both. This week, there is a new Wolverine book, and I dug it. Also, at the end of this episode, I'm going to talk about tomorrow's new show, Collider Movie Club, which debuts literally in like mere hours, and I've got some cool art to show you guys and a new Patreon tier idea. So stick around after the comic book recs if you're curious about a new Patreon idea as well as what tomorrow's show is going to be. I recommend you pull the following comics. These are the books that I'm picking up to read this week. I'm going to check out tomorrow, the 11th, 11/11. I'm going to check out Amazing Spider-Man 52, American Vampire 1976 number 2, Champions number 2, Detective Comics number 1030, Excalibur 14, Green Lantern Season 2, number 9, Iron Man number 3, favorite Iron Man run in years. This Iron Man run is so freaking good. Magnificent Miss Marvel number 16, Marauders number 15, Marvel Zombies Resurrection number 4, Punchline number 1, new run of Punchline because that character got so popular. I'm curious. We got Savage Avengers number 14, Seven Secrets number 4, that's going to sell out in no time. The Seven Secrets 1 through 3 sold out like... So, number 4, if you haven't read any of these yet, get some second printings, dive in. It is such a great new indie book. Big fan of that book. Strange Academy number 5, imagine if Doctor Strange and Magic, with a K, the character, ran an Xavier school, but for magic. It is a fun new book and a great take that I can't believe hasn't been done in this way. Superman number 27, Taskmaster number 1, presumably would have tied in with Black Widow, but they kept pushing the movie, so now we're getting the comic. We Only Find Them When They're Dead number 3, a very strange big space opera book. We've got Wolverine number 7, and finally Wonder Woman 766. Those are the comics I recommend you pick up tomorrow at your local comic book shop. I am currently watching Kingdom Season 2, watching Community Season 5. I think I like Season 5 more than Season 4, which might be controversial. I'm only up until the last episode with Donald, though, so once he leaves, I do worry. But I'm on Season 5 of Community and vibing with the first 4 or 5 episodes there. I just started The Great. I'm digging it. I'm also playing Marvel's Avengers, but I haven't touched it in like 2 weeks, but that is what I'm currently playing. Streaming recommendations for you guys, then we'll talk about the new show. Streaming, I recommend on Netflix. We got Fruitvale Station dropping on the 12th. That is a brilliant debut by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan, based on a true story, very important movie. V for Vendetta drops on the 15th on Netflix. Remember the 15th of November. I've been talking a lot nonstop. Apologies for the mud mouth. V for Vendetta is scarily topical at all times, and I really hope we aren't living in a world of gunpowder, treason, and plot, and I hope that things go well, but we'll see. V for Vendetta dropping on the 15th. Over on Hulu, we got The Dictator dropping on the 14th. No comment there. We've got Animaniacs Season 1 dropping on the 20th. You're goddamn right, we got the Animaniacs. We got a brand new Tesla film with, I do believe, Mr. Ethan Hawke as Tesla. My Hero Academia, episodes 77 to 88. I have not watched more My Hero Academia, but what I have seen, I love. New dubs coming at you on the 24th, episodes 77 to 88, brand new My Hero. Also, Bombshell, a very important biographical film that dropped last year, comes at you on the 26th over on Hulu. Finally, Amazon gets Bombshell as well on the 26th. And finally, Disney Plus, new episodes of The Mandalorian every Friday. Last week, I talked all about the episode 1 of Season 2 that I loved very much. I'll probably not do an every week thing, but at the end of the season, I'll talk about the season as a whole again. Loving The Mandalorian Season 2, I can tell you that. And finally, The Right Stuff is another based on a true story show that I think you dig, and it's also on Disney Plus. And finally, HBO Max gets Doolittle on the 14th. I never caught Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle, but I wanted to, and now I get to see it thanks to HBO Max. So I am now going to show you guys some cool art and tell you about this new idea. So first, though, tomorrow is Collider Movie Club. Now, Movie Club is a show that I am very, very excited about because, one, I'm teaming up with Perry, which is always exciting. Perry is lovely. I love working with her because she sees things like I do, but in different ways. Like, she has different perspectives on stuff, but we share a lot of similar interests. So working with her is great. We have a third chair in the show. The first person in that third chair is going to be on Mr. Hector Varro. He's going to be doing Mad Max Fury Road of this. And then the second episode is Angelique Jackson from Variety, who is awesome. And I don't think I can tell you what episode that's going to be yet, but that drops on the following Wednesday. So it's going to be a weekly show for a few episodes, and then we'll see what happens. But I know we've got a bunch lined up, and we're really excited about it. I cannot wait to tell you about episode 3. Episode 3 is going to be obviously the following week, but it's really exciting. And this show's great. It's not like Movie Talk where it's the news and kind of like what Coy-Cubed is, and it's not like movie fights or any of the other movie-based shows. A lot of people in my comments were like, Movie Talk coming back. I'm like, no, it's not like that at all. We're diving into what makes these movies tick. We're embracing the experience of the movie and what it means to us, and we're diving into certain elements of the film, which I can't reveal until we have some episodes out, but it's going to be a very different animal, and it's me and Perry, so I'm really excited. So that is going to be tomorrow at 11. Do check that out if you're a fan of mine or Perry's. You'll dig it. It's quite the experience. We've shot 2 so far, and they're going to be dropping on Wednesdays, and I can tell you both of those are great, and the third one I'm very excited to film, and you're going to be excited to hear that announcement, what the third one's going to be. So keep an eye on that. I can only see a little bit of the chat, but I do see that Ian is asking, is that a book? Yes, this is actually Invincible Volume 2, and Invincible Volume 1 is behind it. Deadpool was too low for a bunch of my shots, so I had to raise them up a little bit, and my Invincible was, when I got it, it was at an angle, like the binding had messed up, so I set it proper, and Deadpool is helping me fix my Invincible. So there that is. All right, that's that scoop. All right, now the new Patreon thing that I'm excited to share with you folks. This is actually my mom's idea, who's in the chat, because my mom's full of wisdom. I love art walls, and this art wall is blank. And I've got some art that's going to go in the center of it. I've got my Mr. Miracle piece that's going to be like a centerpiece. My dad is helping me figure out like logistics of. My dad's awesome and knows art things. So I'm going to have a lot of art on this wall. But as you can see behind me, next to Deadpool and right behind my head, there is a lot of space that if one picture was there, it'd be like Deadpool where it was a fixture. And I know you guys know me for comic books, and you're starting to know me for more broad-based movies, and you're starting to know me for my aggressive politics, and you're starting to know how much I like music. All those things I don't have a lot of art of. Most of my art is comic book based, so I wanted to diversify my art wall, and there's this really cool company called Displate. Now, Displate is not a sponsor. Displate has given me no free things, and I have taken no money from Displate. This is not an ad. It is an actual experience as a consumer. I joined this thing called the Displate Club, and it's this monthly fee where you get free shipping and discounts on these things called Displates. They are metal printed bits of art that are custom made and then sent out. So they make them right then, like what you pick, and then they send it out. So it's really rad because I get to pick a lot more versatility in my art, and since they're metal, they adhere to the wall with magnets, and I can change them out with episodes. So some episodes, if I'm talking about Batman, that would be a comic book, and I'd have that up. If I'm talking about movie, like I get a Top Gun one, I'll have a Top Gun one up. If I want to talk about music, I've got a great monkey DJ, you'll see. I have all of these options, and since they're magnets, I can move them around. So what I'm thinking is the bottom row of my couch and the top row of my ceiling are going to be rotating Displates. That way, because right now you guys can't see, but this is an 8-foot ceiling, and you only see 2 feet of it above me. So this is probably like 5 feet up. There's another 5 feet up there. I want to cover the top row and this row in art that I can change out. And that way all of my different multitudes of entertainment are covered. So what I'm thinking is I joined this Displate Club so I can get discounts and free shipping, and I want to do a Q&A when I unbox them. So I want to do like an art reveal of whatever the thing is. So say I'm unboxing a Displate for The Departed. There's this cool minimalist poster for The Departed. I can open the Displate, talk about why I love this piece of art, and then talk about The Departed, and then answer Q&A. So what I'm thinking is on my Patreon, I'm going to do, the Displates are like $45. They're not cheap. They are discounted when you join the club. But I can't afford a lot of $44 purchases personally. But they last forever. They're literally metal, and you can rotate them out, so I think it's worth it. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a $30 or $35 Patreon tier that is you guys sponsoring a piece of the set, you guys sponsoring a Displate. So I pick one of the ones from my long list of a wish list. I've got a 66 item wish list after the 5 I just ordered. There's 66 of them I want, and these are because of my birthday, by the way. I had a birthday stream that you guys were super just like awesome, and so I got these as a late birthday present to myself. So these are because of you guys in a lot of ways, so thank you. But I'm thinking a Displate tier in my Patreon. You guys sponsor a Displate, and I will open it on air, and then you can send me 2 or 3 questions, and I'll answer that, and that episode will be for you. And I think that's cool because you also get the other tiers underneath it where you get the Discord access, you get a patron-only podcast, you get all my comic books rated, you get all my movies and TV shows rated, all of that, plus a direct 2 or 3 questions where I'll answer on a video that is also reviewing the Displate. So if that is something you're interested in, check out my Patreon. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to upload that new tier by the end of the week. So by the time you're seeing this, perhaps if you're not watching it live, it'll be up, but I'm going to do that very, very soon. Let's show you guys some Displates now that I've talked about what they are. First up is the hardest one to see, and my mom actually couldn't quite get the grasp fix. The perspective is so crazy. It is an Alex Ross painting. It's one of my favorite Alex Ross paintings, and yes, it's Batman because I don't have enough Batman art. It is the Batman's Rogues Gallery. But look at that perspective. How cool is that? So it's Batman choking out the Joker, and then you got like Two-Face here, you got Catwoman, you got Mr. Freeze, you got Penguin, you got the Riddler. I mean, like the whole rogues are represented. You got Scarecrow up top. Like it's hard to see in reverse, apologies. But it's an Alex Ross painting, and since it's laser printed on a piece of metal, the clarity is gorgeous. This is still wrapped. I haven't even opened this yet, so it's even more clear underneath. I'm going to open it when I hang it. So this is the kind of thing where I could have a ton of these and just have them and be able to rotate them out for the show. And they're cool. They're like 18 by 13. They're great quality. They're gorgeous. And I just want 100 of them. They're so freaking rad. All right, so that is the first. That is Batman, Alex Ross, and many, many rogues. All right, I mentioned this one before, and frankly, I have no art like this, and I feel like it's my spirit animal. I feel like it's touching on the music I love, because I'm a big, big music guy and don't usually talk about it, but this is DJ Monkey. That's right. That's my boy. That's my DJ Monkey. He's great. Big fan. That's right. I'm so excited about this, and this is like, I feel very seen with this piece of art. I feel understood. I feel like this captures my personality. I feel like we are brothers in arms. And yes, Ian, use Mando36 as a code word for 36% off. I got these 36% off using a code word that was like 3 weeks ago. And yeah, they have sales a lot. So the $44 is the retail, and then sales keep it, you know, by the time you buy a picture in a frame, it's pretty comparable. Frames are expensive and art is expensive, so it's actually cheaper a lot of times to not buy the picture and the frame, but to buy it metal, and then it's, you know, more versatile. So 36% off of $44 makes it like $27. That's not bad. That's like the price of a frame. So, DJ Monkey. All right, Alex Maleev. I am a huge, huge fan of this man's work. I did not have Daredevil represented here. I've got one Daredevil piece, but I need a lot more. Look at this. Look at this piece. And then if you look closer, without the glare, look at that detail of Hell's Kitchen. Look at all of the New York represented in that beauty. And look at that stark contrast between the flash of red of Daredevil and the city. It's so pretty. Also worth noting, I'm going to be dropping a video announcing the Patreon tier that's going to be a lot of me showing these very things, so I apologize if this becomes redundant, but I love these pieces and I'm so excited to share them. So you're going to see them twice because that'll be on my YouTube as well. All right, 2 pieces left. Big fan of this trilogy. I don't think it gets enough love. I think it's as good or better than many of the Pixar films. You heard me. It is about family. It's about belonging. It's about overcoming a handicap. It's about beautiful imagery. It's one of the best fantasy stories ever told, and it involves motherfucking dragons and how you train them. Look at this. You got Toothless, you got Hiccup, you got this beautiful color palette. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. All right, so that's number 4. I got 5. And a little sneak peek. So basically you clean your wall and then you put a sticker on one side to protect your wall, and then this adheres to the other and it sticks. It's magnetic to your wall. It's so cool. Yeah, this is a freaking Displate commercial. Displate, witness me. All right, the last one. My favorite author, a man who inspired a decent chunk of my career. There's been a few people that have inspired my career. Kevin Smith, Johnny Carson, Joe Rogan. The way I see journalism is a lot more involved than a lot of people. I'd rather have a conversation with someone that didn't feel one-sided. I don't want to ask what Scarlett Johansson ate to fit in the Black Widow suit. I think that's a waste of time in journalism and integrity. I don't necessarily want puppies in my interviews. So for me, I want to be involved in the story as much as is appropriate, and I like to have conversations. And there's a man who went way further, and he put himself in the story, usually by doing a lot of drugs, and he called it gonzo journalism, and he is so interesting that even to a 12-year-old, he made politics exciting. And that is the great Hunter S. Thompson. So Hunter S. Thompson has meant the world to me forever, and this piece is the first 55,000 words of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas that shape Hunter S. Thompson. So I have a wall in my house that has the first half of Fight Club, the Chuck Palahniuk, Jim Oles script, and it's handwritten, the script, and it shapes Tyler and Jack. I've also got all of the lyrics from Because of the Internet that shaped Childish Gambino, and now the fourth piece that's going to complete that wall, because there's room for 4, is going to be Hunter S. Thompson with his most popular work, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. If you guys are Hunter S. Thompson fans or don't know him well, I recommend Curse of the Lono. That's one of my favorites. The Great Shark Hunt is also incredible. Anything Hunter is great, but Curse of the Lono is probably my favorite, and this is my new bit of art that is coming from Displate. So as you can see, there's all sorts of different stuff. There's authors, there's music. I really want a Halsey piece. I'm a huge fan of Halsey, and I don't have any Halsey art. I want, some Zombie, some Prodigy, some, Rage Against the Machine, Eminem, Tupac. There's a lot of different artists that I really want to represent. The Game doesn't have one. I gotta find one for The Game. Big Game fan. So I want Yellow Wolf has one. I want to get all of my different enthusiast things on this wall. So instead of getting tattoos, I can tattoo this wall and have my fandoms represented. So yeah, pretty freaking cool. Very excited. So yeah, gonna be getting more of these. I'll let you guys know when I update the Patreon to include that tier. And once again, you'll get everything in that tier and below, so you get all sorts of other stuff too. So yeah, I want to make my Patreon more interactive and like get to hang out with you guys. So if you guys ask me questions while I open art and me talk about art, it's gonna be fun. So that's the new plan for the Patreon. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was light on, I guess there was some news, but then I made it a lot about me at the end, so I apologize. I guess this is Coy Cubed, and I've already called it Coy Cubed, which is about as narcissistic as it gets. So if you're clicking on something called Coy Cubed, I guess you accept the fact that narcissism is going to be a part of it, so I appreciate you very much. Tomorrow is Collider Movie Club's debut with Mad Max Fury Road. Do check that out tomorrow at 11 Pacific Standard Time. I am so excited to share that with y'all. I'm going to be dropping a review for Hector and the Search for Happiness, which is going to be coming at you probably tomorrow. I watched that movie for one of my patrons, and I'm very excited to talk about it. AJ Lancaster, who might be in here, he's always great and always picks really great movies. So Hector and the Search for Happiness, gonna get a review for that. And this Friday, we are doing another episode of Comic Books and Craft Beer. And then, yes, Ian, we got to get to some more curls. Because frankly, I've been doing some 12-ounce curls, and I got to get some curls. I'm actually going to, as soon as we wrap, I'm getting on the stationary bike, and I'm watching Kingdom, and I've been doing 15 miles per episode of show. So it usually takes about 50 minutes, which is a 47-minute show, so I try to race to finish by the end. I don't quite get it, but I'm going to get 15 miles on the stationary bike in right now. So my workday is almost done. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Get to checking out Displate, get to drinking some beers, get to doing some curls. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Until the review and until Comic Books and Craft Beers, I've been Coy-Jandreau. You've been awesome. And it won't let me exit, so I'm vamping. You hear me. You understand that I'm vamping. It's not going well because I just announced it. How do I leave? Oh, it's giving me memes. Why is there a GIF bar? I don't want a GIF bar. Hey guys, first time on the internet. How do I? No, don't. Why is there a text screen open? Oh no. Things have gone horribly wrong. All right, vamping over. I found the button. Much love, team. See you soon.